Flintshare isn't just about the veg either, it's very much about the people. People are at the centre of it. And one of the things that I've learnt that has impressed me so much about Flintshare and the way that it's brought people together is that people seem to find the opportunity to develop skills that they don't know they have. Flintshare started when I felt that there was a dearth of local food around. There's very little vegetables produced in Flintshire, and local people don't really have access to much in the way of local good, healthy, organic veg. This site, the Kilken site, is the first of the sites that we set up in Flintshire. So this is a few months on from the other sites that we now have. And it's kind of a flagship in that our first days were spent here clearing the site, and it was our bonding session happened at Kilken, and we built a bridge and laid out the garden and put up our buffalo-proof fence. The other sites that we have, the Harden Farm Shop has given us the site at Harden, and Northop is in conjunction with the Northop College. So we've had very generous offers of land. Kilken has been, it's a bit out of the way, which means that there perhaps aren't as many people visiting Kilken as other sites, but it's actually producing superb veg. There were a lot of worries about whether the soil would actually produce good veg because it's a field full of bracken, but in fact we found the soil really willing and able, and we've produced some fantastic veg here. And the food that has been produced has been magnificent, and the community spirit that it's developed is just fantastic, probably better than it would have been had we started a CSA straight off.
Hello, I'm Peter and I'm based at Flintshare Harden site, which is all around here. I got involved, well, I go way back to before Flintshare. I was working with Mole Town Council on the Chudderslow project. The idea of having local community gardens working as part of that project is what really started us off. And I became a director and a core group member of Flintshare, and I work at other sites as well, but this is my main local site. So the idea is that you work on the site nearest to you to cut down on your miles basically, and your food miles and your travelling. So that was the plan, and I come every week, and I've been coming here for about a year. We've been here for about a year, so this is our first year, and we've yet to have the full site fully dug over, but we're working towards that by the end of next year. And basically it was actually talking to the Gladstone estate, asking for land that we made available. The history of this site is that this used to be part of the orchard, and so they dug up the trees and they ploughed the land for us, and we came here last summer and we started work then. And so this is the end of our first productive year, and we've got great hopes for the future. And we've got quite a few good crops, good variety.
I got involved in Flintshare because, well, two reasons. One, because where I live in Harden there wasn't a provision for any allotments, and I wanted to grow on a bigger scale than just my garden. So when I heard about this, I thought it was a good way of a community garden, a bigger way of getting involved when there isn't anything to do. We have a regular Sunday morning session, which is about from 11 o'clock in the morning, and regardless of the weather, we all turn up and divide what we need to do for the day between us. And then it can be anything from digging vegetable beds to planting plants we've grown somewhere else, or growing seeds, or that kind of thing. This year we've been growing all kinds of things as a kind of experiment to see which does best, because we haven't grown here before. So we've been planting potatoes. Some have been okay, some have been very disappointing. A good crop of onions. We've grown good crops of purple sprouting broccoli, which has done really well, so we're going to be growing that again next year. We've had a massive crop of garlic. I think we've planted too much garlic because we're now kind of garlic millionaires. We've got so much garlic that we're kind of thinking we're getting a bit sick of eating it, to be honest. And next year we're planning to grow some soft fruit things like blackcurrants and raspberries and things, something a bit more permanent. We don't have to keep digging up and growing again.
Basically we grow the more tender crops in Norfolk, obviously because we've got the polytunnels. Basically tomatoes, cucumbers, aubergines, peppers, sweet and hot, and then we have the more hardier crops such as beetroot, beans, which we can grow in the other two polytunnels, which are more open. They've got mesh on either end to allow more airflow. It's obviously, I've experienced it myself, it's more beneficial for the insects and the wildlife which is around here, because it's surprising what we actually do find in the polytunnels, from lizards to toads, to beetles, variations to spiders, all sorts of moths and butterflies. So that's an advantage not using insecticides, that's which they would normally use on industrial scale farming.
I think primarily it's the outdoors, having a hobby where you're outside, and that is the most beneficial thing, and the beautiful veg that we've produced and fruit that we get.
I think more people should really be involved in it, because it's not only the social aspect of the garden, but the chance to grow stuff that you wouldn't perhaps grow in your own garden.
And I come here to relax, and I have learned a lot about gardening, and I've had lots of great veg. The taste is delicious.
We went along to a members meeting, and within about half an hour of being there it signed up, and we've been coming along every week ever since then.
My idea was to connect myself and the people of Flintshire with what they grow, so they can appreciate the seasonality of things. They taste so much better when you grow them yourself, and the fact they taste much better when the fact they've only travelled 20 miles, 10 miles or whatever to get to you.
It's good, it's healthy, fresh air, working alongside other people, become friends. So it's a good social thing as well as a physical exercise thing. And it's good quality food, and it's very enjoyable. We have a good laugh and enjoy ourselves.
Everything that we do, we try to be gentle on the land, and that is a primary concern. In today's supermarket world, I think people are becoming more and more aware of the rising prices of food. They're aware that they don't know exactly how it's grown and how their food is grown, and take control back. This is an empowering enterprise. It allows people to take control of their food supply. They know exactly how it's grown and have learned how to grow it in the process, and hopefully also had some fun.